Supergirl becomes a Power Ranger, Manchester Black makes his debut, and James wants to be Guardian again. I'm going to talk about all of this in my review for Supergirl Season 4, Episode 4, Ahimsa, I believe it's called, but there will be spoilers for the episode from this point on. So I came into this episode with an optimistic point of view. Supergirl has never really been a show that is consistent with its quality. Normally after one or two good episodes, it'll have a pretty long streak of some not so good episodes. But last week's episode was great. I thought it was really good. So I was a little bit optimistic that we would get another good episode this week. And I think we did. I think this was a pretty enjoyable episode. We got a lot of things happening. We got introduced to Manchester Black, who I completely forgot was going to be showing up in this season. I remember it was announced months ago and it just completely spaced my mind. So it was great to see him show up, and he was great. He was definitely a highlight of the episode. It seems like we're definitely going to get a long story arc pertaining to this character, especially how they set him up at the end with he's becoming kind of a vigilante type character, which in the comics he is. He's a very dark vigilante. He's kind of like the Punisher, but he was a villain as well for a bit, but most of the interpretations of him have him as a very hardened vigilante. I think of Vigilante from Arrow in season 5, not season 6 version. Season 6 version was pretty different, but think of Vigilante in season 5 of Arrow, and that's kind of like who Manchester Black is. So it's going to be cool to see where they go with him. We didn't get much with Kara this episode, and again, like I said last review, I assume that this is because Melissa Benoist was doing a lot of Broadway during the filming of these episodes, thus why putting her in the suit was a really easy way to have her in the episode but also not in the episode, because you know a lot of it was voiceovers, a lot of it was in the mask, which by the way, that mask, like inside of it, looked far too much like Jarvis from the Iron Man movies. It was like they weren't even trying to deny it, that it was pretty identical. It was so similar. And then from the outside when she was fighting, all I could think of was an episode of Power Rangers, especially the end fight scene in like a carnival type place with all of the alien that was like doubling himself. That was completely 100% like an episode of Power Rangers, the original. So that was it was cool, I guess. I mean, she looked great fighting in the suit. It looked really cool, but I mean, do they want it to be compared to Power Rangers? Because that's what they're getting. Speaking of that power suit, I think we're done with it already. The way the episode ended and the promo for next week implies that we're done with that suit, which is kind of crazy to me, considering that it seemed from the trailer, from the season 4 trailer for the whole season, and from how last episode ended, that this suit was going to be a big part of the show going forward, because they gave that big scene with the music last episode of Kara getting covered in the suit, and that definitely seemed like they were going for something that it would be more, especially since that suit looks expensive. You know, why would they build or make a suit like that and not use it more? The one thing the Flash always does is when they make a new suit for a future version of the character, they always keep that suit because they always put Barry into that suit in a future season, so they always use it again. So I'm wondering if maybe we will see the suit again at some point. Maybe she'll need to put it on when she's fighting Red Sun Kara or something. But yeah, that was something that really surprised me. Speaking of Alex in this episode, I wasn't a huge fan of her this time around. I didn't feel like her arc was that great. It was just her being the leader of the DEO and having to command everyone, and you know, she blames herself for the kryptonite in the atmosphere, and she blames herself for everything happening with Agent Liberty and Mercy and Otis and all of that. And towards the end of the episode, I did kind of start to sympathize with her more, and start to like her story this episode more. But when she was just going around shouting at Kara, that it got a little tedious for me. I didn't really enjoy it that much. We got some Brainiac and Lena Luthor scenes, which is new. We haven't really seen the two of them work together at all, so it was cool to see the two of them working together in a capacity. Although Lena was not very nice to Brainy. I know that she was kind of like giving him a push to do his thing, but come on, Lena, you could have been a little bit nicer than that. And then with James, you know, we got our James storyline that kind of feels wasted every episode, but it wasn't too bad this time around. It was him wanting to be Guardian again, and he went out and was Guardian for like half a minute. And then during the half a minute, he was recorded, and now everybody wants, you know, James. They think he's working with Agent Liberty because he was beating up the aliens. That was an interesting way to bring his story, but you know, at the same time, could you not give them something a little bit better than that? And then Nia, another wasted character this episode, did nothing. I actually, because of last episode, I completely forgot she was in the show now. And then when she showed up here, I was like, oh yeah, Nia. I was like, I wonder what they're going to give for this episode, because she was great in episode 2. And then they had her just be like, James, don't be Guardian. And that was it. We got a few cool Easter eggs. The very start of the episode, Brainiac mentioned Streaky, Kara's cat. We saw a Bebo toy, which was cool to know that Bebo exists on Earth 38. And what else do we get? Yeah, well, Supergirl was called Daft Punk, or a member of Daft Punk. I was surprised to see a little glimpse of Red Sun Kara at the end. You know, because when she wasn't in the episode at all, I expected that they just weren't going to show her until she was a big part of the show. But no, they gave us a little quick cameo of her, and the kryptonite's all gone, and that was cool. I still really liked Agent Liberty in this episode. Sam Witwer, he's just such a fun guy to watch, and I'm intrigued to see where this goes. He seems to be controlling aliens now with the parasite, and he was controlling Fiona, which from the end of the premiere, when he stuck the big knife into Fiona, I thought that he killed Fiona. I didn't realize that she was still around. But yeah, so she was still around. She ended up dying in this episode, but yeah, she was still around. So that was cool. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about the episode. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't as good as last week, but it was better than the premiere and episode 2. So thank you very much for watching, and if you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. Bye.